This last Shabbat of the year has a very important theme. The portion of the Shabbat begins by telling us, Atem Nitzavim Hayom Kulchem, you are standing this day, all of you together. And then it enumerates all the different parts of Am Yisrael. There are heads of tribes, there are leaders, and then it continues to enumerate the water drawers and the wood choppers, all the segments of human industry and work that make up our people Israel. And it says in the Zohar that this day that we're standing, Atem Nitzavim Hayom, the day, refers to Rosh Hashanah. Because as we enter into Rosh Hashanah, what is paramount is to recognize how important it is that we stand united, recognizing the value and the significance of every single one of us. And the story which I've told before, but is so pertinent, about the father who has two sons, and he gives each of them an amount of money, sends them off into the world to make their fortune. And they come to a city, both of them. One of them is a very successful businessman. He invests his money, and it begins to grow and to develop, and he starts up other businesses and diversifies, and he becomes a multimillionaire. The other brother, unfortunately, doesn't have the ability to make money at all. And he loses more, and he borrows, and he loses that. And he is in very dire straits. And the tragedy of the two brothers is that they never spoke to one another. They never saw one another. The one lived in a stately mansion in the very fancy neighborhood of the city, and the other across the train tracks along dusty roads in a shack. The brothers never spoke. And one day, they hear that their father is coming to visit the town, to visit them. And the wealthy brother immediately thinks, who will host the father? Obviously, the one that has such a beautiful mansion that would be appropriate for his father. And then he hears suddenly that the father arrived, but he's gone to the other brother. And for the first time, the wealthy brother crosses the train tracks and goes down the dusty roads and finds the shack where his brother has been living. And as he enters into the courtyard, he sees a man standing there, his father, and he says, "Father, I'm so excited to see you. I'm so happy that you're here." And the father looks at him and says, "You must be mistaken. How can I help you in any way?" "Well, help me in any way. You're my father. I've come to visit you, to welcome you." The father says, "You must be mistaken. I'm not sure what you're referring to." In desperation, the wealthy brother looks past his father and sees at the back the poor brother with whom he's never had a word for a number of years. And he says, "Father, I'll prove to you that you're my father, because he's my brother. And if he's my brother and you his father, you must be my father too." "Ah," says the father, "a bruder is a bruder, is a tata. If a brother is a brother, then a father is a father. Or a bruder is nicht kein Bruder. But if you don't recognize the importance of your brother, then a father's not a father." When we stand on Rosh Hashanah in a few days' time and we say, Avinu Malkeinu, our Father, our King, Hashem wants to see His children connected and united and committed to one another. And let us enter into this brand new year with a recognition of how important it is to care, to look after each other's needs, to support one another emotionally, financially, to give strength to one another, to look at each other with eyes of warmth and embrace. Because if a father sees that the children love one another, the father finds it so easy to love his children. May we stand united and strong as we enter into a year, please God, filled with blessing and with good health and with all of our desires for good. Shabbat Shalom.